And just like that, we're back for another one. It was crazy. I looked down and I read the words "another one" as I said it, just in time, like the synchronicities right at the gate. Much love. Welcome to the show, Steve. Thank you. Thank you for that. Someone that joined the underground here earlier. Thank you. Thank you, Ispy, for the coffee. All appreciated to the fullest there. John Boy, thank you for the feedback. Meat Puppet, E Fits. Good to see everybody out there. Parker, Sheepdog in the house. Deanne, Tom, Lowrider. Yeah, plenty to talk about. That's for sure. All right, sounding good. Thank you, Boomer, again. Back ass, Wolf Club, Walk with God, MC in the house. All right, guys, got plenty to cover here on this one. As always, dive down some rabbit holes. Got some fresher breaking stuff, and then we've got some new and updated information on some of the ongoing stories, like with Diddy, like with Epstein, like with all that stuff. You can see some of the main ones there in the headlines. If you got anything you need to get to me, dabu7@yahoo.com is the email. Much love, Felix. You can at me just like Felix did right there in the chat if you need to get my attention. I try my best to catch them. When you do that, it just lights it up and helps get my attention. Yeah, much love to everybody out there. I want to thank anyone that shares the stream. For the rest of you guys, you know the deal here. We're going to get a quick update. What am I hearing? Somebody said 9-pointer. Somebody else said maybe 7.8 here. And they're saying Japan. I do not see anything close to that near Japan on this earthquake map. We got some trolling right at the gate tonight, or is it a real one and just not showing here on this one? I haven't pulled up USGS. If anybody can get me a confirmation off USGS, if there is a big quake, we'll let it be known. It's not showing it on this map if that's the case, but the swarming continues right up the road from it, just northeast. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if Japan got hit right now. I mean, they're like next in line. You can see the massive swarming here, and then something's popped up right here. Unless you guys, well, you can even, if you want to say, I don't know if that's Sapporo. I'm guessing that's all part of Japan as well. This northern island here, but still no massive one. Earth is rumbling. That is true. The Ring of Fire alive. Earthquakes popping off. Volcanoes erupting. Watching the West Coast in the United States, man, because real deal. We're long overdue for several different fault lines. And it would only be advantageous to this government if a natural disaster hit or anything else kind of crippling. We do have New Madrid. If ever you see quake activity right here along the Ohio, it's usually associated with the New Madrid fault line. And it's a decent one. People felt this one. 3.2. You can feel these quakes in this area for a lot longer distance. That's why, when the big ones hit back in the day, it rang church bells up in New England, up in Boston. And I don't know how many years ago it was, maybe 10 now. There was a decent quake in the Midwest that hit, and it cracked the obelisk in D.C. and all that. Like, it can happen. And I think this day and age, an overdue New Madrid fault pops. It's going to unzip that Ohio and Mississippi River. And like every single bridge that crosses it potentially could get ripped down. That right there in itself would cripple this country. Just that. No one ever thinks about it, ever speaks on it. But it's time. If it popped off, they'd be like, yeah, let's do for it. Bone score in the house. Finishing the 3-mile walk. Seen someone checking in from the Bahamas earlier. Much love. Yeah, I hope you guys are getting it in out there. Someone, thank you for the coffee. That is the best way to support the channel. Much love. God bless. Back out here. Well, actually, we'll just go look here real quick at the West Coast, because we got the Cascadia, which you can't see. It's not a line that's really running through here. Maybe closer to the bottom edge of the light blue here, till it cuts in down here toward into California. But you've got the Juan de Fuca. You've just got all this activity. It's been look at all these little itty bitty quakes back to back to back to back to back to back, all the same size. That's really crazy looking right there off this island. It's just there is an odd line on the floor that runs right through that whole area. Anyhow, any big quakes pop off at this point, man, it's kind of to be expected. We're in a window right now that if they're going to happen, they kind of happen like this. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. Any major sun activity it's directed at the Earth could affect this as well. Could see an uptick from it. But yeah, let's just be glad that the 8.8 that just happened, tied for the 6th largest in history, didn't cause more damage than what it did. It did cause some damage over there in Russia, but there really isn't a whole lot of talk of it. I mean, I showed you guys the night when it broke loose. As it was happening, all the water rushing in and hitting those places, people trapped in the cars and all this other stuff. But Western media next day don't care about Russia. They ain't picking none of that up. And didn't really say much of a word about it. And speaking of Russia, going to have some big updates on the whole situation with them. If these nutcases want to take us into World War III, man, it's all staged, as it always has been. Just never forget it. You've been sold out. To me, the only reason that they would push these crazier things is if the people are getting closer to them in terms of like busting them, yanking down the curtain. All these people talk arrest, arrest, arrest. And you ain't seen an arrest one. Out of the whole entire first Trump administration, and now over 6 months on the second, it's always, Hillary for prison and all this other crap. And it's a show. They'll repeat it. If it works, they'll try it again. When the base is that dumbed down and just sitting there doing nothing and just taking all of it, sure, they'll repeat it. Anyhow, before I get into that, let me hit some breaking stories here, some newer stuff. This is a developing and ongoing situation right now. We have a shooter at large. Multiple people have been shot at the Owl Bar in Anaconda, Montana. Details about this shooting are limited, but they're saying the suspect has been identified after multiple fatalities in this area. Suspect identified as 45-year-old Michael Brown. What? That's just crazy. His name's that. Michael Brown of Anaconda, and he remains at large. The AP is reporting that 4 people are dead in the shooting. Oh man, dude. Look at this nut. Look at this nut right there. He looks like one. You see this guy. So confrontation. Something went down at the bar, and 4 people are dead. This guy did it. If you see him, get out of his way. Like, call authorities. Let them know. This dude's at large, man. If he killed 4 people, that changes the mindset. Maybe, okay, not making a defense for him or anything like that, but maybe 4 people try to jump him at the bar, and his defense was shooting. We don't know, but it's just something like that. Even if it was, that changes a person's mentality, man. Like, just killed people. He surely isn't giving himself up. It doesn't seem to be the case there. There seems to be some kind of confrontation or targeted event where this guy he got into it with some people at this place, or he targeted them at this place. Man, first thing I think of is, wasn't there like one security guard or a bouncer at the door that had a piece on him? Like, don't people hire stuff for this? But I mean, I guess a hole in the wall bar, or just a everyday bar, maybe not. Probably not. But like where I'm from, man, like even in the bar, if you walk into a bar, like, or something, like, and it's packed, like, there's bound to be a handful of more people in there with a gun on them, packing legally. And if something was to go down, they're gonna draw. It keeps everything righteous, and I like it like that. And you see very little of stories like this that happen in my neck of the woods. Unfortunately, on the last stream, I had to report on that illegal alien that was here that shot and killed his girlfriend's son because he was raping her, and he tried to stop him. That guy's out of here. But once again, you'll never stop. You go to these leftist places, you'll never stop the bad guy from getting the gun or the weapon. It's all over the place. All you're really doing is disarming the peaceful citizens, because these nuts always find a way. It's the way that it is. All right, so if I hear of anything on that, I'll update. Now, we've got another shocking shooting here. This is a manager of a Wendy's in Memphis. He's been charged with first-degree murder. Authorities here are saying that he's charged with this first-degree murder after shooting a man outside of the Wendy's in the parking lot. Now, the way the story goes here is this: Darrell Bowers, 37, and I'll play the video here in a second. He was in an altercation with the man, and how this whole thing started was that this man threatened an employee, saying he was going to smack her or something. And she called, a friend, backup or something, to come pick her up. And it was a dude. And as soon as dude got there, he was outside in the parking lot. He had his gun drawn, like out, like, and that's why they took him in for murder. Like, this guy, they get into an altercation, and he was pushing the whole thing. He just shoots him and kills him right there in the parking lot. And then he walks up and he slaps the man as he's laying there dying. And I'm not even going to play the clip. It's blurred out and everything, but I'm just not. Like some... this is over on the Gateway Pundit. You guys can find it on the first page or so. If you guys want to see the clip, save it from it here tonight on that one. But the next one, another bizarre one. A woman found dead with 26 iPhones glued to her body. Yeah, the woman The woman has died and collapsed on a bus. She had 26 iPhones glued to her body. She started to complain of respiratory issues while traveling from Foz to Iguacu, Foz do Iguacu to Sao Paulo. As her breathing began to worsen, she collapsed and started to have seizures. The paramedics arrived at the scene. They immediately started to resuscitate the woman, but to their dismay, they were unable to bring her back to life. It was while the paramedics were resuscitating the woman that they discovered 26 phones glued directly to her skin. Wow. That's just unfortunate right there. You hear crazy stories all the time, but that's nuts. Never heard of anything like that. Someone says smuggling. I don't know, in terms of having them glued to your skin and everything else. And the radiation, I don't know, all that stuff. Like, I don't know, it's just a weird one. No earthquakes in Japan today. Only the one you covered. All right, thank you, Meat Puppet. Thank you so much for actually doing some legwork there and relaying it back to us. I appreciate that to the fullest. If anything pops off while we're live, also keep me posted. All right, this is a wild one. A baby born from a 30-year-old frozen embryo. And this is pretty crazy. They say on July 26, 2025, Thaddeus Daniel Pierce was born in Ohio from an embryo that was frozen for 30 years, marking a record for the longest frozen embryo leading to a live birth that we know of. They say that Lindsay and Tim Pierce adopted the embryo through the Nightlight Christian Adoptions Snowflakes program. The embryo, created in 1994, originated from biological mother Linda Archard via IVF, in vitro fertilization, I guess is what that is. In the early 90s, her and her then husband faced infertility for 6 years before turning to IVF and then emerging technology. But they produced 4 embryos, one implanted to become their now 30-year-old daughter, who has a 10-year-old child. The remaining 3 were cryo preserved, with them paying an annual storage fee of about $1,000. After her marriage ended, she reached menopause. She's now 6. Discard the embryos, but to donate them for research. She didn't want to do that. So she wanted, as a Christian, for them to be adopted, basically for this to come to life. And I guess the one was, and now a person has been born from it, and so that's pretty crazy. They got people on ice, and all that stuff. Like, what was that famous baseball player, Ted Williams? Is he on ice? All kinds of other cats on ice, hoping that they can be brought back someday. Imagine the bill on that. Imagine paying all that money one day and just one day the power goes out because catastrophe, and then it melts, and it was all for nothing, huh? I don't know. It's pretty crazy. I mean, the mummies wrap themselves. The Egyptians wrap themselves, the mummies. They did that. I was just reading on that again today. They did that because of their belief in the afterlife. There's a strong connection, they believe, to the body, and preserving it helped them in that manner. Or else they wouldn't have been doing it. If there was nothing to it, they wouldn't have been doing it. It's basically what they're saying. And then you point to, and you look at embalming today, you know, of people versus how it was done, I guess a long, long time ago and for forever, where people just naturally were. What happens when you didn't have an embalming fluid and all this stuff? People were just buried and burned. Yeah, different. There's a lot of debate there and talk about that. What happens? Everybody wants to know, where do we go from here? It's all about what you believe in. But even if you're not spiritual scientifically, your energy that never dies and you go on, the energy goes on to be something. It's interesting to me, all of it here. Like, there's something to it, like why the Egyptians did that. It's almost like an anchor, as they put it, to this realm. I'm not so sure that I want that. Maybe that's why others, just the Vikings, all them, they burn. They're dead. Does it set you free? I don't. There's debate there. In the end, if you're a soul, it very much may not even matter. But yeah, you're not going to leave here anyway. If all souls are here in the soul trap, and you're here till judgment, you either cycle back in or you sit back and chill until judgment. What? Like, I don't know, man. This I'm sick of this evil place. Whatever way we can get out, we got to get out, man. As far as I can tell, you have to walk righteous. You have to be righteous. You have to earn it, man. You have to put in the work here. I look around at all these, the life around, everything created on this planet. Something made it. Something's watching. I say it all the time. I feel it right now. I feel it's watching. That's why I say it. So, I just wonder how many others out there can feel it. Can feel that something's observing us, observing you right now, observing everything. It changes. Once you feel it, it changes the way that you move. Because, I don't know, it's like, you're now conscious that something higher is like observing you. And like, I don't want to disappoint. So, we keep it pushing here. Medicaid has been something a lot of people depend on, but it's also something that people rip off. Just like with the whole COVID thing, people were using that and ripping off the COVID stuff, and a ton of them going to jail or in jail. All the scams connected with that. Well, we've got what they call the Medicaid millionaire. I just thought it was kind of crazy because this woman, she went all out. She was buying Audis. She bought a Lamborghini and all this. It was like, man, like some people know no bounds. Like, just create these lies saying they run all these businesses, run all this stuff up, and she got busted. All right, global food prices creeping up again. Every show, unfortunately, I have to say that beef prices are at another record high. It just keeps creeping up. So it ain't got to shoot up like $1 in a week or anything, but it can just go up a few cents and a few cents. As long as it just keeps doing that and never stops, you hit record highs. And then when you're in record high territory, every day that it keeps creeping up and keep creeping up, and it's a new record high. So food overall is creeping up at a high, not just beef. We hit a high on food overall March of 2022. A lot of that was tied into all the hysteria of everything going down with lockdowns here, and then plus you had to kick off Russia invaded Ukraine, and all types of world events combination of things at the time that shot us up there. Well, we're like heading back up in that direction. Things aren't looking good right now on Trump's watch. He talked all this stuff. He's now over 6 months in. All the numbers are starting to come in, and they're not good. He talked all this stuff, and he kept blaming Biden. And Trump's never one to ever just like take one on the chin or be like, yeah, you know what, it's our fault. We did, but it just admit guilt or fault to anything. It's always someone else's fault, or they're lying, or it's a hoax, or it's made up. Russia, or this. I mean, you see what he just did with Epstein and all that. If you wanted to stay talking about Epstein when he said to shut up about it, he was done with you. Even if you voted for him, it didn't matter. He targeted and called out his own base. Said, if you want to keep going on with that, I don't care about you. He's flat out said it. I don't care about you. If you care about pedos and kids and all, tell Messiah. But he is the trump card. He was chosen for this moment. Now he's accountable for all this stuff. There's no more blaming Joe Biden, is what I'm saying. There's no more saying, oh, no, this is on you now. Everything here is on your watch. So look at this. Trump fires the labor statistics boss after he says the jobs data is rigged. And let me tell you something. He says it's all just in him. We'll talk some truth. Jumping. Well, we all know. We see it in all the video clips. We keep it real around here. But all the real polls and numbers have not been good to Trump. It was all big party and winning. But now they've hit a moment with Epstein. It's like a watershed moment, truly, where they can't get over it. They're taking on water, the ship's sinking, and like it's done. This is the thing that did it. Thankfully, there was something. Some people were looking for a way out, and they got it. Because they were seeing the evils of MAGA, the demonic nature of it. It's all dark occult. This isn't about, we're way past the election. This isn't about Trump or Biden anymore, any of that. It's about people not making a stand for right, for the good. They're sitting there doing nothing. That's all it takes for evil to prosper, is for good people to sit there and do nothing. And they're like in a trance. They're afraid to say anything, again, MAGA, because they're part of this big like gang, cult, group, that if you say something that's out of line, they're all going to bark. You're done. You're outcasted. You're kicked out. You're done. And this is like your life because you were never part of anything. And like, this is like your feel good moment, or was, right? Jumping on this Trump train. The easy way out is what it was. And now that all these things are coming to light, you got to make a stand on some of these things. Draw a line in the sand. You got to stand on some things that you believe in. Trump obviously is just playing the game at this point, and he's going to continue to. And thank you, Chris Walker, for the coffees, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Much love. God bless. Appreciate the support, man. More than you guys know. But Trump fires this person over labor statistics because of his opinion. In his opinion, it's a total scam. Just like everything's a hoax. Epstein's a whole hoax, he says, and all this stuff. Now, why do people want to keep talking about it? All this, like, I'm done with him. I'm over. It's roasting time. Okay, he's on the pedestal, front and center. He's the one calling the shots. He's the one that is dealing up all this stuff. Period. It's on his watch. I just get sick of him deflecting. You got to own it at some point. He never does. All right. Jump out of this. I'm going to go to the tariff breakdown. This is another one. Another one no one wants to talk about because people are like ignorant. They don't want to call out their Gentile Messiah for it. They'll much rather just tuck tail and leave and not even listen and hear any of this type of talk because that's where they're at. People are afraid. It's pretty. They're stuck between a rock and a hard spot. But you got to make a decision, man. The truth. To me, it's always the truth. The truth stands before everything else. Not some person you've picked to be your savior, like Trump. Like, I don't know, man. Some people have a rude awakening with this whole thing. Oh, they cut out. Wait here for a second. I see people saying 5x5s now. So I guess it cut out for a second there. Just waiting, making sure everything is good here. All right, good now. Get a refresh. Smooth sailing here. We're good. All right. I don't know. All right. Thank you for all the feedback. So that you know, these tariffs have went to another level today. It rocked the stock market, and everyone's 401k is connected to it. 10% is a global minimum on everyone, and that means that if you buy something anywhere around the world, there's a 10% tariff added to this. And this is what most of the consumers can't wrap their head around. You got to be ignoring it at this point. We're paying for this. Okay. So you voted for this. All right. So just accept that. All you people that can do no wrong, do no harm. It's all about winning. You voted for this. This is his plan. If it's wrong, if there's something wrong here, if you can't afford all this, you need to open your mouth. You need to say something about it. This is sitting there with your mouth shut. Okay. I'm telling you, the whole thing's cracking though, because people can't afford things. And then when things start to fall apart, that's when true colors start to show, and it all comes out in the wash. And they can't keep on up this charade forever, if you ask me. All right, with Canada, Trump kind of goes on the warpath and says, we're going to raise your tariffs 35%, to 35% from 25%. And to Switzerland, he increases it to 39%. 40 different countries get 15% tariffs. They don't name them. And 12 plus economies hit with even higher duties. He delayed China and Mexico's for 90 days. So they pushed them two big key ones right there back 90 days. Seymour Cannabis, much love. Much love to all the purebloods out there. Yeah, throw a refresh on it if something happened there, if it cut out or something. I don't know. I just looked down, seen people saying 5x5. It was good, so I'm just rolling with it. So Trump, they're doing everything they can with their black magic to work over the audience. Now look what he does. He's got freaking Triple H behind him. He's got the wrestler Triple H sitting back here when he's making these announcements, talking about all this stuff, and it's all about optics. Okay, you gotta know how subliminals work, psyops work, all these different things. Reinforcement of ideas, how the whole black magic thing works. Okay, well, I'm just gonna play this clip here first off, and then I'll talk more.
Should be, yeah, please.
Jerome Powell not lowering interest rates again. Many people say that he's playing politics with the futures of millions.
Well, he is. We call him Too Late. He's Too Late. It's his new nickname. It's Too Late Powell. He's a terrible Federal Reserve Chairman. Not only that, he's building a building. He's at $2.9 billion. It's actually 3.1 if you include other areas that are essentially the same thing. Way over budget, has no idea what he's doing. And I would say he's probably good at that compared to what he does with interest rates. But, we have him there, and it was a mistake. I put him in, and then Biden extended him. And Biden only extended him because he knew I couldn't stand him. And that turned out to be not a good thing for Biden. Although he did lower interest rates just prior to the election. Didn't work out too well for them. But he did lower them pretty substantially just prior to the election. No, he's a political hack, not very good. He's not a smart guy.
Yeah, so I pick up on these things for no reason. There's certain people, they use stars and celebrities all the time. People that are in the club, um, to just help rebuffer their their ideas. All right, so I want to point out here real quick when it comes to the oil market here globally, like in wartime, like if World War III was to really break loose, okay, life's going to change for everyone. There's no doubt about it. For every country, economies are all going to be affected. There's just no other way around it. It's what kind of life, like what will life be like when war breaks loose, when you're dependent on your allies and only your allies. And remember, if you're at war, just like we've been seeing here recently, shipping lanes become targets. And just like right now today, in what's has been, like oil in big ships that are bringing goods through certain waterways are getting hit by Houthis and all this other stuff. They're targeted. So if certain things get cut off, you've got to rely on your allies, basically. And if like your enemy controls like a major thing, like you'd be screwed. Now, this is why I say the world's a stage all the time, because it seems to be Europe, NATO wants war with Russia. That's what it always comes down to. Okay? Even right now in this situation, Trump trying to back out of Ukraine and all this, who wants war with Russia? It's NATO. It's Europe. It's all them goons. Why would they want war with Russia? Well, because the world's a stage. That's literally the main reason. Because it's a play. Behind the scenes, they're all in on this. Okay? Russia sends oil and gas to Europe every winter. Keeps them alive. Like, the world is a stage, man. If that was the case, not a drop. If it was really war, like kill all of you, there'd be decapitation strikes, assassinations. There'd be you surely wouldn't be saying, oh, but make sure we got to get there, trying to kill them, but we're gonna still be trying to ship them oil and everything. Like, get out of here, get out of here, dude. Like, you put yourself in a real war situation where you have to kill people and take people out and remove them. No, that's when you see this type of activity where Russia's sending Europe like every winter all this oil and gas to keep them alive and all this different stuff, man. It's a show because all they have to do is cut it off. So here's what would happen though in World War III. China, India, Turkey, and look, the EU, they would all still be dependent on Russia's oil, coal, and gas. Well, EU wouldn't be so much in terms of coal, but in terms of the oil and gas, they sure would be. World's a stage, man. It's ridiculous when you see these things. Average person getting played while the club has all these players that are getting rich. And look at all these guys. Let me point out some of the biggest landowners that you may have never even heard of. They just got all this. What are they doing for people? What are they doing for this country? What are any of them doing for the homeless? What are they doing for their fellow Americans with all their money? Like, none of them do anything. It really ticks me off. Bad. I pray to God every day that somehow, some way I can receive tons of money. Not to go out and buy, all these things for me. But to begin this mission that no one else will do, of going out and picking the brothers up off the floor. The last chance that you've got of getting soldiers, like no one will do it. They're either scared or they're part of the club or something. No one will even try to go out and save this country, to do anything the righteous way. Like I said, go get the homeless off the ground, the vets. I've rolled this plan out before. They can teach the youth all these military tactics that they know, and we've got to do something. Like, something has to happen. You can't point to one person and say that this person's doing that. Would it be a target? Would they try to assassinate him and do all this? I'm sure, but the person has to not care, and I don't. Okay, so I'd rather put in the work for a Most High and help His people. Okay, than go out like a scared bitch. Okay, because something higher's watching. Thank you, Carrie Ray, for the coffee. We're wasting time. Time's just dwindling away, and it's a shame because some came to put in work, and the work can't even be done. So I pray for a way that it can be done, or it'll never be done, and this whole thing continues to fall apart. You won't even get one white knight. You won't get nothing. It's pretty sad. I feel like this place is falling apart, and like somebody's got to do something, or it's just all, it's bye. And like, I don't know, if it can't be me, if it can't be us, like, let it be someone. Speak it into existence. Someone has to rise to the occasion and do this. And be legendary. Anyhow, look at all these: the Emerson family, the Malone family, Ted Turner, all these people with all this money. They own all of our country. In terms of the landowners, this is the top 25 right here. Not one of them got anything on any of their properties to house or help any of the homeless. I guarantee you that. Come one of them. In this evil ass world. Okay, so keep it pushing. Let's go. Let's jump to The View. Popular show here, right? I'm guessing. All right. Thank you, Meat Puppet. Thank you. Really, I mean, only if it's like a 7 or greater, we're causing damage or doing something like that. But thank you. The View. This is talked about all the time. All I recall about it is that it's just a half table, full of liberal women that just do a bunch of bitching 24/7 about like everything. Like, you never, like, there's no positive, nothing you ever glean from anything over here. And it's all political. It's all deep state. It's like they're reading. They look down. They got notes. They got their little things. Like they're like pre-programmed with what they're going to come out here and spew. It's all political. It's all biased. And the proof is in the pudding. You'll tell them by their fruits. Okay. In the first 7 months of this year, The View booked 172 guests, or 102 guests. All of them were left-leaning. Not a single conservative. That's super biased. Like, you should be open. Like, this place shouldn't be divided up like this, man, like this bad. And it is. And all I ever report on is stuff. I guess Whoopi stepped out or something. I don't see her up there. Did she leave the mix or something? I don't know. I don't keep up with this stuff, but maybe some of you guys endure this, watch it or something. I don't know, but it's just, this is establishment controlled narrative 100%. Like, when you talk deep state, when you talk establishment, That's what, especially the Biden regime. Anything and everything that they push, especially through lockdowns and all this. Well, this is a good sign. This is woke is dead. The Jaguar CEO behind the whole just just retired. Like, gets up. Man, I appreciate you for that super to the fullest. To the whole woke thing, like, look, to me, I believe that, like, it should be like a fair and balanced thing. Like people can have a little bit of this view, of that view. Everyone's not going to always agree on everything. I get it. Like, but like, it shouldn't fall like down like to war lines like this on the political lines, like left and right. Buffering bad, spotty, audio in and out. D, oh, 0, and it's good now. Choppy, better now. Like, all right, refreshing the stream. I'm not sure what's going on here tonight. I'm gonna keep it pushing. No buffering here. See, I keep seeing some people say problems, but then others out there clearly have no issues. Some people said they haven't had an issue all night. No buffering at all. Others say buffering on and off. So I find that odd. I don't know. Try to battle through these things. As long as I'm getting 5x5s, I'm gonna try to keep it pushing. It's all I can do. Where are we at here? Where are we? Coming up on top of the hour. All right. I want to thank everyone that hangs in there. Let me get a refresh myself at here, since we're about an hour in. Let me get it. All right, got to refresh. Close down my X. It's one less thing running on my end. It's not telling me that I haven't had none of the. You haven't. Usually, if my internet cuts out or anything, you hear that sound. And I haven't heard it in a while. It says 3x6. All right. I don't know, man. Just gonna make sure that we're good here at the top. Ask one more time. See if I get some 5x5s coming in good from the start. Refresh them if you got them. All right. Check my driveway. E-Fits, all right. Nush, Warrior, Susie, thank you guys. William Rogers. One of my best buds, man, growing up in life, man. William Rogers. Loud and clear. Good now. All right. 0 buffering here in TN. All right, man. All right. I'm just going to keep on pushing then. If you guys are just now joining us here, cracking into some of the heavier stuff from here on out. Emails dapu7@yahoo.com if you got something to get to me. At me. I try to keep my eyes open to see the chat. I do appreciate the super chats, coffees, PayPals. So any support, it's all appreciated to the fullest as well. And any prayers, as always. So, kick off the second half. We're going to talk, all right, 6.1 again in Russia. Okay, 6.1. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah, unless it's like you see there's a tsunami warning or it's like a 7 or over, usually, I don't mention them myself because it's a non-event. You get over 7, it could be depending on where it hits. But that swarm out there, I mean, you never know. I think it's still swarming, man. Crazy things happen, and we're in a window when big quakes hit like that, more can hit. All right, so American Eagle also refusing to bow down to the woke mob here. There's this thing, and I don't even know who this girl was until all this talk. I still don't know if she's a model or I guess that's what she is. This Sydney Sweeney. They're making memes out of her all over the place and all this other stuff. I look into it, and apparently, American Eagle it's all about the woke mob and them attacking. Apparently, they got pissed off. The left did because of her. I just don't get it. They say because she's a beautiful girl, and it's like, what? Like, that's why they're mad? Like, and like, oh yeah, it's not just her. There are white dudes too, like handsome, looking good here, whatever. Like, they don't want that neither. Like, if you're white and you got anything about you, like, how dare you praise it, say anything good about it, anything like that. It's the same thing here. The left lose their mind over a Dunkin' Donuts ad with a white model in it. It's crazy. I'm gonna play. The reactions of some of these people are the best. I can't help but laugh at some of this stuff, man. But I'm gonna play this clip here, and yeah, maybe that's a little over the top. But the effect it has and that it's getting from the other side, it's crazy. Like,
look, I didn't ask to be the king of summer. It just kind of happened. This tan, genetics. I just got my color analysis back. Guess what? Golden summer, literally.
Who the fuck's coming out with one next? They're getting bold. They were already bold, but they're getting fucking bold right now.
oh my gosh. I'm sorry. It's just, it's so funny to me.
Look, I didn't ask to be the king of summer. It just kind of happened. This tan, genetics. I just got my color analysis back. Guess what? Golden summer, literally. I can't help it. Every time I drink a Dunkin' Golden Hour Refresher, it's like the sun just finds me.
You too, Duncan? Have you not learned anything from Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle? Now, I understand these are slight messages that just...
People like this are having meltdowns all over the place because of this stuff. I'm like, you don't have better stuff to do with your life, to focus your energy in any other place? You get caught up in this? Like, it's my comedy for the day, so I guess so be it. Michael, thank you for the coffees. Thank you so much, Michael Murphy. I don't know. I gotta point some of these things out, man. It's I find it comical. What's this one? I didn't see this one. What's this one?
Wake up. New boycott just dropped. Dunkin' Donuts. Bring your asses to the front.
I don't know. I wouldn't play it because I suspect he was going to say more cussing there. Anyhow, I'm gonna what is this? Oh, this is basically JD Vance trying to talk about the left losing their minds. I don't know if I haven't seen this one, so See here.
Yeah, my political advice to the Democrats is continue to tell everybody who thinks Sydney Sweeney is attractive is a Nazi. that appears to be their actual strategy. I mean, it actually reveals something pretty interesting about the Dems, though, which is that you have like a normal, all-American, beautiful girl doing like a normal jeans ad, right? They're trying to sell jeans to kids in America, and they have managed to so unhinge themselves over this thing. And it's like, you guys, did you learn nothing from the November 2024 election? Like, I actually thought that one of the lessons they might take is we're going to be less crazy. The lesson they have apparently taken is we're going to attack people as Nazis for thinking Sydney Sweeney is beautiful. Great strategy, guys. That's how you're going to win the midterms, especially young American men.
Their course correction lasted about 30 seconds.
That's right. Lasted 30 seconds. Somehow has gotten even crazier. But again, it's just so much of the Democrats is oriented around hostility to basic American life. So you have a pretty girl doing a jeans ad.
Well, I mean, it is kind of crazy. Hostility toward everyday, like, American life. I don't know. Yeah. It's a divide. Let's look. I'm gonna keep it pushing here. Here's an update to the woman that was knocked out by the mob in Cincinnati. And where their leftist official blamed her. Since then, Ramaswamy's brought light on this, and look at this. That is what a man did to this woman when he punched her on that video. I played it when it all unraveled here within this past week or so. But the one hit, I mean, just sucker punch, clocked. A man hit this woman, knocked her out cold. Like, you can see her laying there, eyes open, looked like she was dead. That's damage, aftermath damage done on her face right there. It's crazy, man. All right, AI. Let's get an update on the AI sector. I've been showing robots attacking and swinging and crazy robotic wolves, as they call them, and all these Terminator type of robots. But is it really going to dumb us down? Well, and I asked this question because we know that this stuff is like not like almighty. It's like it makes mistakes. It turns up errors all day, every day. So check this out. I seen Monograph. Shout out to Monty. I seen him over in the feed like yesterday or the day before, going off on Grok. Right? And this is I'm gonna have to keep hitting away at this because you should not say, "Hey Grok, is this true?" And like base the foundation of all your truths and all your beliefs on what Grok said. And that's what people are doing. And that's scary. But they're doing it. They're doing it every day. They're doing it more and more. And I call out and call out and call out. I spend half my time, half my day, as soon as I wake up, get on Twitter, on X, like, F you. Like, wake up. Like, I'm just going off. Because of all this stuff. And here was Monograph going off. Why? Because his name is mentioned in this article by someone, like, out of nowhere, that tried to say that he was atheist and, like, turned Christian and all this stuff. And, like, Grok came back and started to, like, make statements insinuating the same thing. That, that Monograph, was an atheist at one point and changed. But Monograph seen all this and snapped and was like, I was never, ever, ever an atheist. Never claimed to be. Like, this is pure lies. He was snapping on them. And, like, dude, that to me, that's a lawsuit. Like, Monty should be able to go and sue Elon right now. But I don't know if he thought about it. But I think he actually got a case. I think he actually got one. Anyone that this happens to, defamation. It's if they're talking crap about you, creating lies and slander and spreading it. And people are taking it like it's, the gospel. Oh, Grok, is this true? Like, shame on you if you're sitting there basing all your beliefs on Grok already. Like, pathetic. Like, it's dangerous, man. Dangerous. And who knows what kind of crap we could talk about you, me, anyone else. Like, I feel for Monty over there because he's going to have to battle us at this point because it seems that Grok has got this in its system, in its algorithm, how or whyever it was trained with this thought, with this thinking, with this lie. It's crazy. But we've seen it time and time again. Grok is not perfect. It's lied. We've seen AI do craziness at this point. So I think it's only going to get crazier from here. So no doubt, what Grok say, it would say anything. Label all of us like some kind of crazy extremist, crazy ideologies and all this. Yeah, I'm sure it would. The hell with Grok. It ain't righteous. It ain't no righteous AI as far as I could tell. Like, and Lepender, when her idea had the righteous idea, like we need to fight fire with fire. We need to train a righteous AI with all the righteous stuff to be able to battle back. There has to be a mirror. There has to be an opposite, the yin to the yang. It's true to some degree. Jump into the politics. Full scale. I'm going to show you just, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through it. I'm going to show you this little clip of Kamala Harris. When she starts these word salads, I got to quit. I can't do it. I can't endure it because I've sat through them before and it's just like excruciating and like, no. But she's not going to run for governor. And people are saying, oh, well, that means she's going to run for president and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Does it really matter at this point? It's a selection, not an election. Anyone even, like, the fact that no one has learned their lessons is scary.
Announced yesterday, you made an announcement that you're not running for the governor of California.
Correct.
Even though in early polling you beat every other candidate by double digits, you said you're going to sit this one out. Why are you sitting this out? Are you saving yourself for a different office that might be?
No.
That's what everybody, obviously.
But honestly,
obviously people project onto their hopes and dreams.
And honestly, that it's more perhaps basic than that. Listen, I am a devout public servant. I have spent my entire career in service of the people. And I thought a lot about running for governor. I love my state. I love California. I've served as elected district attorney, attorney general, and senator. But to be very candid with you, when I was a young in my career, I had to defend my decision to become.
All right, that's where I gotta stop it. I can't do it. That's where she's gonna start going down the rabbit trail and all this other crap and this, as they say, word salad and anyhow, she's not running for governor. Long story short, and I don't care what they say. She could tag along and be a vice for Newsome if they wanted again, and it would probably work. Who knows, man? They regurgitate these people. Obviously, Newsom is he's being elevated to the top. You can see it. You can just tell. You can tell he's making the run for the presidency. Whether he's going to be the guy running for president from this side or the vice, like he's clearly making that move, aligning, and like he is clearly their joker faced pick. All right, you wonder what happened to Biden? They're still toting this guy around somewhere, guy in a mask or whatever. Apparently, this is him stepping up on the stage at this event. Craziness.
Joe Biden, there he is. Ben, hold on with us for just a second here. Let's listen to the applause.
Boo.
And he brought his granddaughters to celebrate with him.
Full crowd, they brought him walking out there.
Please be seated.
He apparently, I'm not even playing it. I can't. I'm done with Joe Biden in my life. Like watching this dude. Like, anyhow, they're still wheeling him around out there. He's popping up. You've got I gotta play this clip. This Elizabeth Warren. I'm guessing she thought that this table was gonna hold her up, and it didn't, and she bites the dust here. In this clip.
In the affirmative. Baldwin,
It embarrasses her more than anything.
Heinrich, Hirono, Kane.
Yeah. I can't stand that woman. All right. Now, I told you about Newsom. Well, he's getting called out here by none other than Mel Gibson. And yes, Mel Gibson is an actor. But still, there's a lot of people jumping behind him here. Because someone of this magnitude from this side, not many people carry, I hate to say it, with that Trump energy, that magnitude of energy off the right side, like Mel Gibson would. And he's calling out Newsom here. I'm just going to play the clip, then we'll talk about it.
Newsom wants to do the Maui plan. What do you think the Maui locals think of the Maui plan? Yeah. I'm sorry, there aren't any more locals living there anymore. They all had to leave town. Do you think the people of the Palisades or Altadena are going to be consulted about how their areas are reimagined by Newsom and Bass? Huh? No. It'll be more like the Chairman Maui plan.
They want to use you to get what they want and then throw you away.
Yeah. Pathetic, and despicable things I've seen was when Karen Bass, in order to shift the blame and culpability from herself, wiped it on the fire chief and threw her under the bus for speaking the truth about how the department had been defunded and were without resources. They didn't even have water. Now Gavin has asked for $40 billion of federal dollars to do whatever he has in mind.
It's hard for me to take him serious.
Why would we trust him with that kind of funding?
Why would I trust you?
See, along with that federal money should come a federal investigation into what for a few pennies more. A federal investigation. I mean, Karen is, she's having an investigation into why she made the decision to go to Ghana. Which is absurdity on 4 legs.
Looks like a dog just interrupted that whole thing. Yeah, that's quite comical. But you can see Mel Gibson is up here in front of all these people, and he's up here preaching like political crap. Like he's attacking Newsom, as they call him, Gavin. Why? I asked the same question when Tulsi popped up during the whole thing, and she debated Kamala. For what reason? Like, why? Like, what was the reason? It was like literally like why? Like, And the only reason is because they brought Tulsi out in all white, like the lamb, like this messianic figure or something, against bad Kamala, and they were putting Tulsi in the minds of the masses. They did right there. Now she's the head of the whatever here in this country, brainwashing them, looking into the camera, speaking to them softly, and like telling them what the deep state wants the people to consume. And she chose to do that for a reason. I've seen this time after time. It makes me sit here and wonder, Mel Gibson, coming out of Hollywood. I mean, talking A-list, highest rank of actors that are out there. Can he have some good in him? Potentially anybody could. Anyone can have a JFK moment. Anyone can do that. Anyone can say, yeah, we're really going to go after the bad guys. But he knows what's at stake the moment that he really does that, that's when they come to kill you. It's a fine line, I guess you have to walk here at this point. So, I never give up hope that someone has it in them to really start doing the right thing. But, man, I don't see much real hope in anyone, in any of these actors. I don't, I gotta see more. I gotta see something real. It's gotta resonate real to start there. All the fake stuff, it never passes the test because it never resonates real. And if it can never do that, then it'll never be real. So this woman, if you don't know, her name is Neera Tanden. She's being blamed for a lot of the AutoPen stuff, this whole AutoPen scandal. So instead of it being, put on Joe or whoever, like, this lady's catching all the flack. Well, she's saying that no, anytime she did it, he was right there and authorized every action, that it was all authorized actions on her behalf. And like, what does it matter at this point? Like, is anybody ever going to go to jail anyway? Like, it never happens. Story after story, nothing ever happens. Here's one. We got Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene introducing the Clear Skies Act of 2025. She's calling for an end for the dangerous and deadly practice of weather modification and geoengineering. Now, this is a real deal. They always want to say it's not this and that and conspiracy theory, this and that, but you guys have all seen the skies sprayed left and right, crisscrossed all over the place. And they're spraying us with chemicals, and they're putting on experiments. And also in the mix of this, it's a weather modification. We talk about it with the cloud seeding specifically. That's an easy one. They've been doing that since Vietnam, before I was even born. And they were using it as a weapon. Okay, so don't get it twisted. Like, they were using weather in these things as a weapon on people, on countries, on masses before I was even in this realm. So, for a long time, if you put something on the books, will it matter? Well, all the states need to do things, but yeah, we need laws, we need things. They need to be real. Need to have some weight behind them. You need to actually see clear blue skies and see the chemtrailing stop. That's when you know it's real. Because you can pass this stuff, and if the skies aren't clearing up and you don't stop seeing the stuff, then it's a ruse. Easiest way to tell. If Florida was supposed to have jumped out in front of it, all that, that's why I said states can make their own moves, and they need to do that as well. But yeah, I'll be glad when I quit seeing it, because I've seen it very bad. I've seen it bad. You all have. Everybody has. Everybody has. That you literally live under a rock somewhere, and you ain't looking at the sky or paying attention ever. Like, we've all seen it. We've all seen the heavy chemtrailing. It has to stop. But, you know, if they're not going to try to kill us in one way, they're just going to do it in another. That's how I feel. So they'll shift all their attention and focus to something else. Like, oh yes, finally the skies are clear, but then the EMP is, you know, or something. All right, so House Oversight Chairman James Comer postpones a deposition with Ghislaine Maxwell. This is some juicy stuff right here. This is very interesting stuff right here. When it comes to all the bad guys and the trafficking stuff, like, look, some of the most damning information and evidence is already out there. It's out in the open. The proof, the evidence is already there. It's in the photos of Trump with Epstein, not just once or twice, but like dozens of times, dozens of different parties. They all got different clothes on. So it's every different time. They're on camera. They're on recording, saying that, you know, they hung out for over a decade. Epstein even said he was like his best bud for like over 10 years. Like, dude, that's deep. That's super deep. All running in the same circles. To think that Trump doesn't know. Come on, you've seen the video footage where Trump's pointing like that one right there's hot, biting his lip, and he says something Epstein that makes him like keel over and this and that. Like, it's a sick, dirty Trump. That's how he lived most of his life. You heard him on Howard Stern. He ran the pageants, the beauty pageants. So he would make sure he went back there where they were all dressing because he could. And, you know, and he said it all cocky, like he had to go back. All these young girls underage that are, you know, half naked. He had to go back and inspect them. Pisses me off. If it doesn't piss you off, then like you're one of them. Then you're pedo too. Pedo protectors, man. You got karma coming your way. I'm telling you. The Most High said, man, when it comes to the children, when it comes to these kids, something's watching. If you're gonna let evil be done to them, you've got the worst of the worst coming. Should be doing everything in our power to expose the evils being done to children. I mean, you may not care about growing as humans or anything else, but like, you have no empathy, you have no care, you have no nothing. You're pretty much worthless. Like, what are you doing? You're not here fighting the fight, you're doing nothing. That's, if I was a higher power, I'd be looking down at life like that, like they're worthless. They're doing nothing. They're just sitting there like a bump on a log. They're doing nothing to help at all. Not fighting the fight, so they're squandering the moment. As best I can tell, people are squandering the moment. To get up and make a difference. And of all things, we're not asking, for crying out loud, we're just asking to care about children being kidnapped and raped. If that's too much to ask and bother you with, then, you know, maybe you just need to leave and not even be around here around me. Yeah, just go ahead and leave. You don't need to come back to my channel. So we're here to fight this fight for a reason, to do something a lot of others won't do, apparently. Expose the stuff. Talk about things that others won't. And Trump and them obviously want to cover this up and sweep it under the rug ASAP. You know, was willing to burn a huge chunk of his base, like right to their face, if they dared say anything else about it. Which is crazy. Crazy. Some of them took it. That's why, and it still hasn't begun. You still haven't seen me unleash yet on what I call the pedo protectors. And that's anyone that's over on social media chumming up the Trump still. sharing pictures with them, high fives, winning, all this crap. And they're not calling him out on this stuff. They're just acting like the whole pedo thing don't exist. Shame on you. And you got everything. You deserve everything that you got coming. It's war. You want to side with the pedos? You chose that. Oh, it was the easy way out. It was the Trump train and all that in the beginning and all that. Well, now you got a choice to make. And they're trying to ignore it. They're trying to act like it didn't happen, not happening or something. Like Trump's not a part of it. And this, like, get out of here. Like, you'll tell them by their fruits. You tell them about their fruits, and boy, you can't fake that. Oh, it's about to be on. At some point, you watch. It's not going to be pretty. All right, so Bloomberg claims that President Trump's name is redacted in the Epstein files by the FBI. And I believe it 100%. How could it not be? I mean, we got all the proof and the evidence. They're going. They go back in photos, almost back into black and white. Like, I'm just kidding, but like they go back. They go like the kids, Trump's kids, like Ivanka and all them, like his oldest kids are young, like at his hip. We're standing right next to Epstein. Like, you kidding me? You kidding me? Like, and you wrote like this for forever, for years and years and years. Like, to think that the Don's name isn't tied in and all over this is that's just shame. Like, you know better. Like, he's as guilty as I've ever seen somebody. He can't contain it, and it's something that is to the detriment of everything that they've done, the whole establishment and everything. Because anyone like me or anyone like you that's got eyes that can see and can read his body language and watch him crack. Ever since that that interview with Pam Bondi and all them at the table, when the whole thing began, when he lost it. Like, you're still talking about this creep and all this stuff. Like, you could tell his magic, his power didn't work no more. Mr. I get everything I want, do anything I want. No, it's because there's karma there that's going to come back and get you. It already is. It's the chink in the armor, I'm telling you. It's the Achilles heel. When it comes to these children and the Holy Spirit and these goons and everything that they do out here, I'm telling you, there is an opposite to all this evil. Can't you see evil is real? I mean, even if you're an atheist, I mean, can you not deny that? Can you just see how evil this place is? You can deny that? Look at the devils, the demons everywhere. Look at the evil everywhere. Like, you'd be lying. You're just slick lying. The evil exists. It's raw. It's real. And it's at a max level. Okay? There's an opposite to everything. That's why there's the yin yang. And I always say that we're in the dark side of it, that all black, and we are the little white remnant that exists in it. This is what we are. Okay? Representing a whole lot. We rep a lot. All the souls, all everything. We are the living that reps right now. I speak it into existence. They feel it. They hear it right now. All the souls watching. Everyone lives, everyone dies. Who's in here putting in the work, though? In the physical. Right now. Against this beast. You know. If I'm on the other side, I'm rooting for that. I could feel good rooting for us. I just, it's just my heightened senses, I guess. I can just, it's what keeps pushing me. Knowing this, feeling this, that there's something higher watching, not to just lay there I'm like, dude, no, what am I gonna do there? I was like, no, there's a way higher purpose. And like I'm reminded constantly. I'm telling you, when you change your life and you're attuned to this, almost like a frequency, and you feel it like somebody watching you. You turn around and you look and somebody's staring at you. It's like that. That's the best way that I can describe it. It's real. I call it knowing. Okay, so the Daily Beast panics, deletes an article claiming that Trump met Melania through Epstein. But they kind of, it's the same circles. It's the same circles. It's just not, all right, Michael Wolff put out an article claiming that Trump met Melania through Epstein. Okay? Big woo. Like, what would it matter if he did or not? Like, I think it's like it's a distraction, like a deflection. The outlet was forced to apologize after she lawyered up and contacted them, challenging the headline in the framing of the article. So that's all it takes to piss them off. They'll just threaten to sue. It's all Trump and them do anyway. Sue. So sure, they're going to have Melania doing it too. Melania was very involved in this Epstein relationship. There was this model thing, and she's introduced by a model agent, both of whom Trump and Epstein are involved with. She's introduced to Trump that way. Epstein knows her well. Wolff alleged in the since deleted article. Now, they go on to say, this is what they say. They go on to say, Melania met Trump at the Fashion Week party in New York City in 1998. I don't know. That feels so fabricated. But even if it is true, if they met, it doesn't take. That's not. Is this black magic again? It does not take away from the fact that they hung out. She was there in all the photos going back years and years and years, a decade. She's at all the parties, like hanging out, like back even when she was just Trump's girlfriend. She's in all the photos. You've seen them. She's all looking like she's got her head up in the air. Like all of them are there. Epstein, Maxwell, Trump. Like, dude, all the goods are right there. They were given to us right in the very beginning. Some of the best goods, the best photos. That's why we got them. You could see them. They're there because they were together in all this. And to sit there and be naive and idiotic enough to think that Trump was not involved in any of this is just ludicrous. I ask all the time, I wonder how many people Trump is overseeing or know of. How many people have been knocked off in this life because they got in Donald Trump's way? You talk about the Clinton body count all the time. You don't even know. Like, so all right, let me get into some of the best piece of this here. First off, if you don't know, when they tried to quickly put out all this footage and there was a minute missing and all this other stuff, guess what? There's somebody in orange caught in the stairwell moving that I mentioned in the last clip. And again, thank you, Spartan, for the coffees. But whoever did this was so sloppy, they let the mouse go across the screen as they were screen capturing this whole thing, showing proof that it definitely wasn't an original. And there it is. There's the mouse. So when you play the footage, you can see the mouse move across the screen, so you know that you're looking at a fully edited screenshot thing. It's not an original. Right here. There it is. And they'll play it again. They quickly, accidentally did it and didn't realize it. And that was it. Shows full edit. Yeah, so now let me get into the best part. Oh, this is the good stuff. Put a video out on this, but this is this right here. When you find stuff like this, this is the really good stuff because it's like undeniable. Whenever you find proof that U.S. government vehicles and aircraft are landing and taking off from Epstein's runways. Oh, yeah. It's game over. You got them. That's it. Like, I don't know how much proof or evidence people are ever expecting to get, but you've got so much of the goods right in front of your face that it's obvious. People are just living in denial, don't want to accept the truth or what. But, like, that's the facts. I mean, I get it. A lot of us do, but, like, I'm talking about the bigger crowd out there. So check this out. This is pretty crazy. First off, we already know Epstein was highly financed through the Mossad. And how through the Mossad? Well, he had, oh my gosh. I looked down and I said Mossad and I seen it in the chat. It's the second I said it and it wasn't planned. Again, second synchronicity of the night. RJ, that was nuts. But that shows we're right on the money. Right? So we're right on the money. So he was financed largely by Les Wexner, which is like the richest man in Ohio. Got a massive compound up there. If anybody cares, wants to check it out, look into him. You'd be crazy to think that Les Wexner isn't massively involved in all this, in this massive operation, all of it. And I'd say 100%. He's as shady as it gets, and he was funneling millions and millions and millions, basically the Mossad middleman here, to Epstein, to have Epstein propped up to do everything that he was doing. Okay? So that gives you some background right there. And of course, all these people are caught up in this ring. So in the Mossad thing goes way back. Not just to him, but also Ghislaine. Ghislaine's dad, Robert Maxwell, was a known informant and spy that worked through the Mossad. And he was like murdered, thrown off his boat in the ocean or whatever, like by them. That's what they do. Because of bad dealings and all this other stuff. But it is all like mob orientated, mafia orientated, man. And that's what this is. Our country is like one big mafia, and the Don Trump it runs it. That's where we're at. So here we go with the good stuff. There's proof right here of Epstein's direct ties to intelligence aircraft, DOD aircraft leased to Dynacor, or the company called Amentum, which is one of the largest U.S. military contractors out there. And they have a well-documented history of performing rendition flights for the CIA. What's that? A rendition flight is a covert flight used to transport people around the world. The tail number of this aircraft is seen on the flight manifest leaving his private airstrip from the Zorro Ranch in New Mexico. So you got all this clamor and all this talk about the island. Well, he had all kinds of different places. It's crazy to think that everything just happened there. No. Like, people need to snap out of it. Any one of his locations were all rigged, were all filmed, all this stuff. And this right here shows proof that this U.S. government aircraft is logged landing there right after the Lolita Express was logged in there. And what's crazy is on the U.S. government entry, they got the tail number, but they made sure to leave blank any names or anything else associated with it. It's the only one sticks out like a sore thumb. Go down the whole list all at once, it's blank. Doesn't have any information with any names or any other extra information. But it's got the tail number written down that it was there. It took off from Zorro. And it smokes them. It smokes them. It smokes them. Okay? So you have aircraft that is known being flown by a company that is known to run covert rendition flights for the CIA, moving people around the world on Epstein's tarmac. I mean, what? What other kind of smoking gun are you looking for? Like, you think you're ever going to get? Like, when you can place the U.S. government on a pedo's airstrip, like, and it's not just any U.S. government. Again, it's a group in a flight that moves people around the world. It's get out of here. Their fingerprints are all over. They're guilty as charged, man. But because there's no righteousness out there in this world, the demons will get away with it because they run the whole show. They run the CIA, the FBI, the whole damn thing. They run the biggest pedo network on the planet, can't you see? Why you guys keep talking about this creep Epstein? I wonder why, Trump. Chumpy. Yeah, they're trying to put this one to rest, and it's not going to happen. This is like a nightmare for them. It just is. So, this is what we're up against. Remember, in a rest in peace, John McAfee. John McAfee might have seemed like a crazy nut, but John McAfee's a legend. John McAfee gave governments of this world free laptops, and he spied on them. And he seen what they were really doing. Boss player. Boss moves that I ain't seen no one make. Cost him his life, and he knew it. He went on the run. He even got whacked, tattooed on his arm, like, you're gonna get him. They arrested him in Spain, and he's dead. They Epstein him. Literally. Epstein him. He told us he knew it was gonna happen. Why? Why did they kill McAfee? Because he exposed the biggest pedo ring on the face of the planet, with full-blown governments connected to it. All the people, all the players. It's all out there if you care. R.I.P. McAfee. Salute, soldier. I see you on the other side. You did well, my friend. You did more damage. You did more here exposing this beast and the minions than anyone else. At this point like this. Yes, you did. Because you did something that was like legendary. He Trojan horsed them. He gave them computers, man. Like as a gift. Like, oh yeah, here, man, you take this. And was watching their every move. Boss. Legendary. When you catch the criminals like that, when you bust them with their pants down in the parlor, like, dude, they want you dead. Quick. They'll chase you all over the planet, all over the ocean until they catch you. And they did. They did just that. And killed him. Epsteined him. Literally. So you can't go on, you can't carry on this conversation without making that connection. It's clear. It's a clear connection right there. How can it not be? Funny how all these people get picked off, even in the cell, over this one subject. So, again, put government aircraft on the runways of Epstein Estates. You don't think Lex Wessner didn't know anything about all this? Huh? All these minions, all these goons, all these richest men of every state in the United States. Again, not a one of them righteous. Not a one of them doing any good. So we ain't got no one to fight back, man. You know, that's what's so legendary. That's why people rally behind other people. They even come close to doing it. They call out the beast. I know for me growing up, it was a rally behind Tupac. It was McAfee because it was the Don Illuminati. When we were 16, we were kids coming out, what is all this? It was the signal to us that, you know, he was the Don telling us that, like, you got to kill the Illuminati. You understand? You got to kill the beast. Boy, was he ever right. To this day, now you know it's been embedded in me since 16. 16, yeah. Boy, I felt like he talked directly to us sometimes, man, in them lyrics, because I was 16. Shorty Wanna Be a Thug, all them songs came out like 16. A little bit, I was 16. Like, it was, like, it affected me hard. Like, you could say Tupac Shakur and this one album, his death, his murder, the release of McAfee, regardless of any of the music on it, just the name of it, it sparked me. It made me go look. And it like gave birth to Dabu 7 because I figured out right then who the Illuminati was. Without that album, because back then things were different. Like I came up in a time like there wasn't all this internet stuff. Like we came up in a time like when pagers were still popping. You know, and stuff like that. Like, so, this is a different day and age, man. Like, we got to use the most of this tool. Like I do. That's why I'm trying to go live three nights a week, getting the truth out there, tell I'm dead, till I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? We're going all out. What is this? Oh, all right. This is deflection from Trump. Everything with Obama, Hillary, all these goons, it's all deflection if you ask me. They're talking about, should she be investigated for election fraud? And he's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, how can you even buy this? He ran a whole election on Hillary for prison, and she was sitting front row at this last inauguration. Like, some of you people are stupid. Are you kidding? What about that? All right, just stop everything. What about that fact? Put all your hopes and dreams that this guy was going to go kill the deep state and all this last time. Like, didn't learn a lesson. Some of us are like, okay, fool me once, you know. But fool me again? And we're sitting there watching some of you just like get fooled again. Or are you willingly doing it? Is the question. So, they're not going to give up here. Every day, it's a bombardment of other headlines outside of Epstein, Obama, of this one. DNI, Tulsi Gabbard confirms explosive 2020 election fraud. So, dude, they're pulling everything out. They got election fraud over here. They're going after Obama over here. The Clintons over there. Like, dude, they're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this. Literally. To try to, like, get people off Epstein. It's just that we're not. You have to come kill us all. If that's what you want to do. I don't put it past you, but they say that the feds knew about voting machine vulnerabilities and stayed silent and all this garbage. You gotta go arrest somebody. Go arrest somebody. All you do is talk crap. It's all it is every day. It's like, these are the days of our lives. It's just a freaking, it's a show. It's all it is. It literally, you're selling a show. Go arrest somebody. Then come back and tell us something. As a matter of fact, I don't want you to tell me nothing. I don't want to hear a word out of your mouth ever again. I want you to come back and to show us video of these goons in cuffs. How about them apples? You can't do it, can you, DNI Gabbard? You deep state piece of... Yeah. And it's real. It's real. And there's all these different goons are players, but, sometimes they make comments where the truth slips out.
If you didn't believe in the deep state then, you absolutely should believe in the deep state now. This was a political hit job worth about $32 million from the top down in the White House all the way down, using agencies like the CIA, the FBI, and the DOJ to kneecap Donald Trump before an election. And maybe it didn't manipulate votes. However, the way that the mainstream media covered it as fact, and the way that they blew President Trump up over this and smeared him, etc., that's on their hands. And I hope that the DOJ will have real, bona fide...
Just look at the images. Look at all these images that they stack up of Gabbard on the left side while this is running. Like she's some kind of goddess. Like she's some kind of... she's... Like, they've done this the whole time. They just keep doing it. Like she's some kind of like messianic figure or something. Like, dude, just get out of here with the crap. Sick of it. All of it. Like dressed in white and all these clips. And I told you this how many times. Like, these are subliminals, man. I'm telling you, they've got bigger plans for her from here than you even know. I mean, and she's a DNI, like, it's musical chairs out there, but, like, who knows? We're going to have to come with some heavy hitting power, some heavy hitting star power to fill the shoes of Donald Trump. I think they're going to try many things. I still don't think they know for sure what they're going to do there, because, I mean, how do you? Go grab Mel Gibson? Like, I'm just kidding. Or, just saying. Like, you have to, like, it's not going to work. Like, there's never going to be another Trump. So, unfortunately, we've got like 3 years, some odd days like left of Trump, and the worst things in history for the United States of America, I feel, are going to happen. So it means it's about to happen. Unfortunately, I hate to sound like that and say that, but I'm a realist, and I've spent all the days of my life since they fucking locked us down. I didn't forget. They locked us down, said you have essential papers, mask up, all that crap. Yeah. They're preparing for the real deal. And I've been preparing. So many people I know just not. Unfortunately. If you're not, you better just be getting like all like living your best life, like just getting it all in, going to the Bahamas, taking that cruise, like doing this, getting it all in, spending that quality time with the family, this and that, whatever. Because I truly believe that where this is going here, soon after big events, there is not going to be no more American way of life as you've ever known it. Unfortunately, that's what these events were designed to do. It's going to usher in the greatest depression through the great taking. It's going to be an economic reset, as Trump said he's here to do, which has not happened yet. Even the World Economic Forum telegraphed it clearly. The great reset. It has not happened yet. Everyone's about to get hit, blindsided, Mack truck. Because everyone fell back asleep. Like, we were in lockdowns, everyone was in hysteria. The best way I ever know how to describe this is it's a pendulum, the way things work out here with energy, and way their black magic works as well. And they hit COVID at a high peak where it was swung one way and it swung back the other in like that's where everything went back like normal life to the highest level, the highest degree. And like it's swinging back the other way. And before you know it, it's like a brick wall. Like if they drop bird flu, real deal, something deadly, it will crush our way of life. If they shut the lights out or anything, I call it the economic 9/11. It's going to devastate us. Something has to happen to reset it. The reset has not happened. They've showed you it's going to. It's going to happen. So it hasn't happened yet. So I'm just saying, I would be ready. The enemy has telegraphed it and told you right in front of your face, which is part of the black magic as well. They have to tell you many of these things, either subliminally or like flat out in the open. Where we at here? All right, I'm gonna let me get this update because this is a big one here coming up on top of the hour. When it comes to World War, I know there's always war and rumors of war all over the place. And probably a record amount of global wars right now as we speak. Tonight, Trump did something. He telegraphed a move that is flexing. It's straight flexing. He deployed 2 nuclear subs into strike positions around Russia. And he didn't keep it a secret. He told the whole world. And he said because Medvedev, the former president, like Putin's right-hand man, like pretty much, he always is saying stuff. I will say he runs his mouth. He talks hard like gangster. And like, I mean, the Russian gangster, the Russian mafia. You know, and he talks hard. And Trump's like had enough of it. And said, look, if this dude wants to keep running his mouth about, nukes being dropped and this and that, then this is what I'm doing. I'm deploying 2 nuclear subs into position. And he did. This ain't good, man. When these nutcases is going to drop a nuke, you watch. I'm telling you, United States, man, I said it on the last show, I think, the tsunami bomb thing and all that. Like, there's ways to hit us and cripple this country without even, like, physically hitting us with the bomb. A tsunami bomb off the East Coast would wipe out every coastal city on the East Coast. They'd be screwed, done. Okay? EMP would cripple the whole country. You wouldn't have to hit one city. You would just take everyone out. One shot. Some things are pretty basic and pretty common sense. All right? So anything more would just be straight theater. And boy, the people eat it up. But some of us see this whole thing staged and see it's all scripted anyway, and we know who's doing this. Unfortunately, that doesn't stop them from killing people, even though it's scripted. Every day they do. They maul them. They send them to the front lines. They blow them up every day, all day. And they'll continue to do it. And yeah, they'll bust out the nukes here at some point, I feel it's destined to happen. It doesn't have to be like Hiroshima, Nagasaki. They could be tactical. They have the ability. It doesn't have to have a ton of radiation or anything like that. So, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, man. When you start making moves like this open, like, and telegraphing all this stuff open, there's only so much talking to be done. And Trump even said that. Like, talking leads to this. And like, really? What if Medvedev counters tomorrow morning and gets pissed off? He wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. And he's like, F you, Trump. Like, suck it. Like, goes right at him. signs up on Truth Social just to go over and cussing like direct or something crazy. Like like, and these two want to get into it like it's high school. We got nuclear subs in motion now. That's the real deal. Nuclear powers doing this. Scripted or not, this is where it's going. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen so much. So Trump says the talks with Moscow are fruitless because, well, what does Moscow want with stopping in Ukraine? They're taking over all kinds of territory, and they're boasting about it. So like they're advancing, and they're like, why should we stop? Like they just pounded Kiev. Like they're destroying all these areas and like taking over. Look at this one. Impregnable fortress. Russian forces conquer Donetsk stronghold of Chasov Yar. After 17 months of siege, they finally take over the whole area. Dude, they are clipping everything. They're taking it all. They're storming through it. And they're about to take Zelensky out. They telegraphed it. They put his replacement in vogue. What they're planning on doing here. Yep, Zelensky's saying he's about to strike up a deal with Western allies for regime change in Russia. I'm so sick of all of it, man. Military generals for the United States saying that we have our military general surgeons are not adequately prepared to save lives of wounded members in a large-scale combat operation. This is crazy. How can you have the world's greatest military coming out saying that the surgeons cannot save lives on the battlefield? They're not adequately trained, or how? Train them. Like how? Like this is crazy. This is what they're saying. These are the warnings out there. Everyone thinks, oh, America, this and that, but they've decimated us. They've literally stripped us down to like nothing. Depleted all our supplies. They've been telling you this. They've even said with all this push to Ukraine here recently that like we don't even have our own defensive supplies. Rubio came out and said it. We are thin. We don't even have our own defensive weapons. And they want more in Ukraine. And it's like, well, dude, this is your game. You sell military equipment like garbage. If we're sitting here at any point when we can't defend ourselves, I'm holding them responsible solely. But when the day comes, man, they won't be nowhere to be found. They'll be locked in Cheyenne Mountain in their bunkers where can't nobody get them. An update real quick on Diddy. They're saying he has a $50 million bail package, but now they're saying that he is going to get potentially a substantially higher sentence. Yada, yada. We'll see what he ends up getting stuck with in the end, and we'll see just how much time he actually serves behind bars and how much of this they're going to give him as time served. But again, you'll tell them by their fruits. He gets off easy on this and walks on all this. And the murders of Tupac and Biggie and Kim Porter and everybody else on the damn list, if they don't get brought up, not a one, then, it's all swept under the rug. It's over. And this is what they'll do. If giving him actually the easy way out covers everyone else's tracks, they'll do it. And this is what I warned you about Ghislaine Maxwell. If they literally let her walk free and say, well, she's free to go because there were no clients, the whole case gets swept away. So, just saying, Diddy should fry for everything he's been connected on. But again, he's a lower level man underneath a bunch of other industry guys that made him that way and propped him up in that position. Their names never get mentioned. Jimmy Iovine, all these other guys that handled him. it's a crazy game. Yeah, their names never get mentioned, but it's an evil world. That is for sure. All right. Looks like that brings me to a close for another one here. Got it all rifled off there within 2 hours. Go over here to check the chat before we close it down. Check the email in the chat here real quick. And I hope you guys have a good and safe weekend. Right, so salute to Eddie Ross, all the mods. Thank you for holding it down. Everybody for joining, everybody that shares, everybody that supports the channel. All appreciated to the fullest. Everybody that keeps us in prayers. Thank you, Raymond. Yeah, and I thank all of you guys for all the love. It's appreciated. As I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll plan to see you here next time for some Underground World News Live on Monday. And thank you, Coraline and E. Fitz, Steve. Safe travels again. To everybody out there, much love. Take us out here on some music. Well, thank you, Dick. Bulletproof Soul MC. Much love, Joe. Susie Q. Yeah, be safe out there. Seymour, good to see you. Much love. Big D, Crosshatch, Meaningless, Ava, Julie, Eon. Much love, Pure Bloods. Yes, pray without ceasing. And a much love to everybody out there, again, that keeps us in the prayers. And a much love and thank you to the legendary Eon. Man, absolutely legendary in your support. Always appreciate it.